Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is actually a take two of a video that I filmed yesterday. So yesterday was my son's first day of preschool. I dropped him off. I was feeling so sad and just like emotional, and I didn't want to think about it, so I decided to sit down and film a video using the new Makeup Revolution Emily Noel palettes and also their new Fast Base foundation stick, which I've been getting a lot of questions on. And somewhere in the middle of filming, it just stopped recording, so I did like my foundation and blush on camera, and then I totally missed the eyeshadow part. And I thought about like going back and just telling you guys like the colors that I used, and I realized I really just want you to see it actually going on, and I wasn't happy with the way that the video turned out, so I figured I'll just sit down and refilm it again today for you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. So first up, I'm going to be using the Coats Face Natural Tinted Sunscreen SPF 40. You guys have heard me talk about this so much on my channel, and it's just my favorite sunscreen because it doesn't feel like sunscreen. It actually feels like a makeup primer. It's very smooth. It fills in all of those lines and pores on your face and just creates the most beautiful canvas for makeup. It's mineral based, so it doesn't smell like anything. It doesn't have like that sunscreen smell to it. It's not sticky. It leaves your skin with a matte finish, which is really nice, but it's not a dry matte finish. It's not powdery, so it still feels like it's hydrating on drier skin, which I really love because my skin is super dry and I don't have any issues with this. And it also, I feel like the matte finish helps foundation to grip a little bit better, because if it was more of a slick or greasy finish, it might make my foundation slide off. So that's another reason I just absolutely love it. It's fantastic. You can get it at Ulta, so I'll link it down below. I've been through probably like 6 or 7 tubes of this since I discovered it about a year and a half ago, because I use it every single day, so I would just keep repurchasing this forever. It's absolutely amazing. All right, and then next up, I'll be using the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick in the shade F3. And I ordered this online, so I wasn't sure about the color match, but it seems to be pretty good. It's a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone, actually, but I don't mind that too much, especially heading into the winter. It'll probably match a lot better. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you know I'm not really a fan of foundation sticks because I feel like they sit kind of unnaturally on top of my skin, but I'm hoping that this will be a good one. It's really inexpensive, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this with my fingers like I always do, Drew Barrymore style. That references a video that she did with Tati, where Tati is like applying her foundation really like, you know, perfectly with her beauty blender, and Drew Barrymore's over there just like slapping it on with her hands. But that's how I do my foundation most days. I don't use beauty blenders or brushes unless, you know, I'm going to an event or I really want to look flawless. But for every day, I feel like my fingers do a pretty good job to where it's just not worth it for me to bother with using tools. So I'm not going anywhere special, and I think it does a pretty good job. I also like being able to sort of feel where I'm putting products and sort of, you know, push them into my skin with my fingers. I just feel like I have a little bit more control that way. So that's the way I like to do it. I think this has amazing coverage so far. I probably need a little bit around my nose area, but it covered up just about everything that I wanted it to cover, which is great. I think the true test is definitely going to be looking at it outside, because here on camera it looks really nice, it looks really flawless, but you just never know until you go out in that harsh natural lighting whether a product is going to work well for you or not. And you guys know I always take photos in natural lighting just because I want you to see exactly what it looks like on my skin, not just in the camera, because it can be very deceiving seeing things on camera. So this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade, what shade am I? C1. It's the lightest shade. And this is probably my favorite concealer right now because it has nice coverage. It kind of reminds me of a little bit more of a hydrating Tarte Shape Tape. So if you have dry skin and you felt like Shape Tape was too drying for you, this is perfect. And it's also not quite as much coverage, and I really don't need or want full coverage, so this is just the perfect medium. I absolutely love everything about this concealer. This is my second tube of it now, and it's just fantastic. All right, so next I'm gonna do my cheeks with the Needs palette, and this one is a full face palette that I recently brought on a weekend getaway with me, and I loved that I had all of my cheek products and eye products in one palette. I really only needed to pack this and my foundation and mascara and lip products, and that's it. So it's great if you don't have a lot of room in your travel bag, and it's also great even if you're home and you just don't want to like think about it too much and you just want to do your full face and not have to pull from all these different products. It's amazing for that. So I'm gonna start out with the shade Courage, and this is a like bronzer contour shade. I don't normally contour, but I figured for this I just want to try it, and I haven't actually used this shade yet for contour. When I brought it on my trip, I really just used the blush and highlighter, so I'm interested to see how this works out. It blends really nicely on the cheeks. I'm actually using the Beauty Junkies Tapered Kabuki brush. This comes in a set of face brushes, and I love Beauty Junkies brushes. I always get asked all the time what my favorite makeup brushes are, and these are them. They are so good. The quality is amazing. The brushes don't shed at all, and they're so soft. They're synthetic. They're not animal hair, so they're cruelty free. And they're inexpensive too. They're very, very affordable. So this powder's blending really nicely, and I love that it's not too pigmented or too crazy, so it's not gonna leave like a big splotch on your cheeks. Next, I'm gonna be using the shade Joy on my cheeks, and this is a beautiful peachy pink blush that I love. It's perfect on my skin tone, and I love that it's not like a shimmery blush either, because as I get older, I tend to gravitate more toward matte blush shades because they don't accentuate all the texture that's cropping up on my cheeks. And then last but not least from this palette, I'm going to take the shade Gratitude, which is a really beautiful highlighter. So I'm going to be applying this with my giant julep fan brush, and I love this highlight because the color is perfect for me and it's not too crazy. Like, it has a nice sheen to it, but it's not over the top. I think it probably could be if you wanted to wet it or apply it in layers, but just one layer of this comes out so pretty, and I'm more of a natural highlight person anyway, so I think it's gorgeous. All right, so moving on to eyes, I'm gonna be using the Wants palette, and I love this palette because it has all of the neutral shades you need, but also is so colorful, yet not bright or crazy. All of these colors are so wearable, and I'm normally not a person that really loves colorful palettes, but I feel like this one is muted enough that I could use most of these shades just fine without being too afraid. So I figured I would do more of like a greenish look because some of these greens in here look so pretty. So first I'm gonna start out with the shade Midwest, which is a warm brown in my crease. I'm just checking to make sure this camera is still recording. Yes, okay. I don't want the same thing to happen again. But as you can see, the color just goes on really easily. It blends beautifully on the eyes. And honestly, I know that Emily would not put her name on something if it wasn't gonna be good. I totally trust her. She's one of the few YouTubers I feel like I can trust 100%. I'm not saying that there aren't other trustworthy people out there. There definitely are. It's just a matter of being a little bit skeptical and not taking everything at face value, I think, and you know, just being smart about it. Like, generally when somebody's reviewing something, I go and check a bunch of other reviews before purchasing just to be sure. But you know, in her case, I feel like when she says she likes something, she really, really does. And that doesn't mean that I'm always gonna like it either, because people are different. I'm sure you guys don't always like everything that I like either, but at least I feel like she's being genuine about it, you know, and I love supporting her. I think her channel is amazing. It's one of the first channels I ever started watching on YouTube, and I'm subscribed for life. I have to say, I hope she never gives it up because I love her channel. So now I'm going to take a small flat brush and apply the shade Side Hustle to my inner and outer corner and do sort of a halo eye effect. This is a really pretty rich green. I love this color. And I'm not using any primer at all, but I feel like this is showing up really well on the eye and it's blending nicely. And I love how it's you know, you can build it up a little bit, because especially when you're a beginner and you don't want like this crazy amount of pigment on your eye and then you don't know what to do with it. I prefer building up shadows slowly, because I'm honestly no expert. I'm not a makeup artist, so it just feels more comfortable to me to start out sort of lightly and then build from there. So it's really, really nice. So for my lid shade, I'm going to be applying the shade Grateful, which is a gorgeous light green. I'm just going to put that right in the center of my lid and then blend it out. And this is showing up so nicely with a brush. A lot of times I have to use my finger to really make shimmer shades pop on my lid, but this one is really coming out nice. You guys, I have such a runaway brow. Like, my brow always wants to, like, this side go up. It's so annoying. I hate it. And then I'm also going to go ahead and take that dark green Side Hustle and line underneath my eyes with that as well. I really, really love this color because even though it's a really dark shade, it's softer than using a color like black. I feel like it's not as harsh of a look. And then I'm going to finish up my eyes with the Kokie Volume and Length Mascara, which is one of my favorites lately. Drugstore, high-end, anything. I wear this almost every single day. It gives tons of length, tons of volume, and doesn't clump, and it doesn't smudge underneath my eyes, which is the best part. It doesn't flake all over the place. It's such a good formula, and I feel like more people need to talk about it. I think when it first came out, everybody was obsessed with this mascara. Like, I remember Kathleen Lights talking about it, and Tati was recommending it, and I don't hear anybody talk about it anymore, but it's still one of my favorites. And then I'm just gonna finish off the look with the Kokie Lip Veneer in the shade Legend. This is such a pretty pinky nude, and I love these lip glosses because they're like a full coverage lip gloss. It's not sheer. It reminds me of those like traditional liquid lipsticks that came out before all of the matte ones, where, you know, they gave a lot of coverage and a tiny bit of shine, but they're not like shiny and sticky like a gloss. They feel like just buttery and smooth and make your lips look really nice. So that's why I love these. They're really, really affordable too. All right, guys, so here's the finished look using the Emily Noel Needs and Wants palettes, and I'm loving the way that everything came out. I think it was so easy to use, and even the foundation stick, I feel like it went on really easily and nicely, and it covered well. So the true test is just going to be how these things wear throughout the day. So I will be doing check-ins. I'm also going to head outside like I usually do and take a picture of the foundation in natural lighting so that you can see how it sits on my skin, and I'm really just anxious to see how everything wears throughout the day. So I will check in with you guys a bit later. All right, guys, it's been about 8 hours since I first applied my makeup, so I just wanted to give you some final thoughts on how things are wearing. So the eyeshadow still looks great. It looks pretty much the same way it did when I applied it. My blush is still showing, the contour, the highlight, everything is still there. My one disappointment is with the foundation. I took a photo as soon as I applied it and went outside, and you'll see, I'll put it up on the screen, it just highlights every single texture issue I have. My skin actually looks kind of awful close up. Makes my pores look huge. It looks cakey around my chin area. And even now that I've been wearing it for about 8 hours, it wore off on my nose here and my chin. It looks like it's just in little clumps, and makeup almost never breaks up on me because I have really dry skin, but this one is absolutely like just breaking up, and there's just like little bits of it kind of stuck all over my skin. So it's just not my favorite, unfortunately. I love Makeup Revolution. Normally, I love the concealer. I can't wait to try the foundation version of the concealer that just came out. But like most stick foundations, this one just does not work for, I guess, my skin type, or maybe, you know, because I have more mature skin. I'm 40 years old, so maybe that's one reason why stick foundations just do not work for me, but it's very rare that one does. So I had high hopes for this one because it's so affordable, and I love the portability of a stick and just the ease of use, but sadly this one is a pass for me. Everything else was awesome. So that's about it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. I'll be uploading a lot more often now that Henry is in school full time. So look forward to new videos coming soon. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.